الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله على سيدنا ونبينا أبي القاسم المصطفى محمد وعلى أهل بيته الأطيبين الأنجبين بهم نتولى ومن أعدائهم نتبرأ إلى الله. اللهم كن لوليك الحجة ابن الحسن صلواتك عليه وعلى آبائه في هذه الساعة وفي كل ساعة وليا وحافظا وقائدا وناصرا ودليلا وعينا حتى تسكنه أرضك طوعا وتمتعه فيها طويلا. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وأجل فرجهم. May Allah make this majlis a majlis of nur, of ma'arifah that remains an asset for us all in our graves, barzakh and qiyamah. A share of this reward of this majlis be given to all of the marhumeen, especially the loved ones who have passed away from those participating in this session. Quran in an ayah says that هَلْ يَنظُرُونَ إِلَّا أَن تَأْتِيَهُمُ الْمَلَائِكَةُ أو يأتي ربك أو يأتي بعض آيات ربك يوم يأتي بعض آيات ربك لا ينفع نفس إيمانها. On the day when some of the signs of your Lord will be seen, people when they see the signs and then they embrace, Allah the Almighty says لم تكن آمنت من قبل. That is, had you not embraced, did you not have faith from before, min qabl, then says that la tanfa'u, that is, la yanfa'u nafsun, it will not benefit them. So a faith after seeing the signs, that faith is not beneficial. When inquired from Imam al-Sadiq and Imam al-Rida alayhim salam, they say that ayat in the Quran, which means signs, means the Imams. Ayah, which is the plural, which means sign, which is the singular, it means Imam al-Asr alayhi salatu wassalam. So in this ayah says people when they would embrace, when they would have faith in the Imam after his arrival, after seeing his return, after his zuhur, says that Iman will be of no benefit, of no use. If you want the Iman to have an effect and useful, that faith has to be way before the arrival of the Imam alayhi salam. So before the Imam has arrived, if we submit to him, if we are faithful to him, that Iman will be beneficial. Otherwise, having Iman after the arrival of the Imam and after seeing him, that will not be of use. And also, practicing before the return of the Imam, that is worth. Someone who is waiting for the Imam, if he starts practicing from now, all of the wajibats that he has been instructed to, and every haram that he has to forbid from, if he is used to and is practicing those ahkam now in the era of the ghaibat of the Imam, so tomorrow when the Imam returns, it's easy for me to switch from the following of a mujtahid to the following of an Imam. It's going to be simpler. But compared to someone who hasn't been obedient to the Almighty, has not been in taqleed, hasn't been worshipping, hasn't been forbidding himself from haram and unlawful, this person, when he sees the signs and Imam has arrived and now he wants to start from scratch, it is going to be a tough time. It's going to be difficult for him. So Quran says, La yanfa'u nafsun imanuha. That is, a soul, it will not be beneficial for him, that Iman that he would have in the Imam after the return of the Imam. So that what we have been commanded in this ayah, instructed by the Almighty Allah, is that we have to have faith in the Imam alayhi salam before the Imam returns. We follow the Imam alayhi salatu wassalam before the Imam returns. We are obedient to the Imam alayhi salatu wassalam before the arrival of the Imam alayhi salam. So it's very important that Imam, when he says that the signs that have been mentioned in this ayah, says Yawm Khuruj al-Qa'im. It's the day of when the Imam will start his move. Who is this Imam? Minna. He is from us. So the Imam who will start this movement is from us, the Ahlul Bayt. And then he says, Ya Aba Basir, Tuba li Shi'ati. That is good, lucky the Shias. قائمنا المنتظرين لظهوره في غيبته. Those who are waiting for the Imam in the era of Ghaibat, they are obedient to the Imam prior to his zuhur. أولئك أولياء الله الذين لا خوف عليهم ولا هم يحزنون. They are indeed the awliya, the friends of Allah, no fear for them and they do not worry. So before the arrival of the Imam, we have to start working for the return of the Imam, and the obedience of the Imam alayhi salam has to be observed from this day and age that we are in. Now, when we look into the teachings of the Ma'asumin alayhimus salam, one of them is that the belief that we have in Imam and the Imam Mahdi alayhi salam, it's the staunchest and the strongest of the support systems that we have from Allah tabarak wa ta'ala. Now, the doors, the outlet that Allah has placed for us are the Imams alayhimus salam. Like, for example, in one of these advices that Amirul Mu'mineen Ali alayhi salatu wassalam has to Kumail, the reporter of Dua Kumail, he says to Kumail that Kumail, I, Ali, have opened the doors of every science. I open them. Not that famous hadith you've heard of, Ana Madinatul Ilm wa Aliyun Babuha. I am the city of knowledge, and Ali is the entrance and the gates to that city of knowledge. Now here says that I open the doors to all of the sciences for everyone, and Mahdi, who is from my lineage, my son, he will perfect, he will complete, and he will walk you through to all of these sciences that we have. Imam al-Asr alayhi salatu wassalam, the return, it's hatmi, it's definite. And then the return of the Imam also, it's an era of a benevolent rule that will start. Now people, they get scared when it is mentioned Akhiruz Zaman. They think that Akhiruz Zaman means it's going to be something very scary, when it's not. Akhiruz Zaman means end of a term and start of a new term, start of a benevolent term. Just like the end of a winter season, end of an autumn season, and then you've got a starting of a spring season, which is such beautiful, which gives life to the entire nature. And all these trees and shrubs and leaves that were all dead in autumn and in winter, they gain life. So humanity also, or creation at large, it is dead. And he who will revive them, give life to this creation, it is Imam al-Asr alayhi salatu wassalam. So Imam, when he comes, the hadith says that the science, the ilm that will be available to mankind before the return of the Imam alayhi salam, it's only 2 out of 27 portions of ilm that Allah has created. So 2 portions are available today, for example. Then when Imam he returns, he is going to top it up by 27 folds. Whatever you could do now with that 2 portions of ilm, when Imam returns, he is going to open up 27 extra folds and portions of ilm. So what mankind would do, how he would travel, how he would live, what the energy will be, and where the travel is going to be, that is going to be Allahu A'lam, he knows. That is how vast, how quick, how fast it is going to be. In this day and age that we are living in, we've got all these travels and international travels from one country to another. In a few hours we can get to our destinations. The rule of the Imam alayhi salatu wassalam is going to be such magnificent and such beautiful. In no time you will get from point to point, not only on the planet Earth, the travel is going to be beyond the Earth. So all these sky trips and between the planets and in the galaxy, all these are those possibilities and things that would take place in the era of the return of the Imam alayhi salatu wassalam. So a return of the Imam means a new life, a benevolent life that will be given to everyone, and people, they are waiting for that life. Now when we see the Imams alayhi salam, in rank, first it is Amirul Mu'mineen Ali alayhi salam, then we have Imam, then Hazrat Fatima salamullahi alayha, then Imam Mujtaba and Imam Hussein, and then it is Imam al-Asr alayhi salatu wasalam. In that rank and that adama, it is Imam al-Asr after Imam Hussein alayhi salam. So all of the other Imams, that is from Imam al-Sajjad to Imam al-Askari, they are of the same level, but Imam al-Asr, he is higher in rank. And that is what we see in the riwayat also, that Imam al-Sadiq, he says, Imam Zainul Abidin alayhi salam, he says that I wish to be during the time of my son, so that I could serve my great grandson until the day of judgment. So that desire to serve the Imam, to be obedient to the Imam, has been the desire of the Imams as well. So if we have that valid desire that we want to be among them, among him, it is something that we have learned from the Imams alayhimus salam. So in this day and age, that what is binding upon every one of us is to tune ourselves with the teachings of the Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salam. So the likes and my dislikes should be the likes and the dislikes of the Imam. That what I do from among the haram and the halal are exactly the same things that the Imam and the is forbidden to from the haram and is instructed to doing the wajib. So it is the same shariat upon him, it is the same shariat upon me. And before the return of the Imam, I have to get all these wajibat and muharramat on board, so that that iman of mine, that practice of mine, could be beneficial when the Imam returns. One of the things that helps a lot in this field is dua. There are various du'as for Imam al-Asr alayhi salam, because the days they are related to Imam al-Asr and the era is his and he is the Imam alayhi salam. We also have to do something so that we are strongly connected to the Imam. Different ways, different methods are there. One of the ways is by the du'as that have been reported from Ma'asumin, to bond and to communicate, to connect with Imam al-Asr alayhi salam. Like for example, dua Adhum al-Bala. Recite that as frequently as you can. Dua Ahad, Ziyaratul Ahad, Dua Faraj, and then dua Nujba on Fridays. All these du'as, they help, because that is the identity of the Shias, that they are waiting for someone and who's going to put things right and who's going to take mankind towards guidance, and then all the oppressors will be removed from the surface of this earth. So that is a time when everyone would love to be, and then that time it's going to be the creation, the earth, it will just throw up whatever Allah has hidden in this earth. The skies also, they will pour so much of barakat and rain that never ever in the history of the creation it rained that much. That is, prior to the zuhur of the Imam, that entire globe is going to be washed, and then it's going to be revived, and all these natural disasters that were created by man, as a result of which the nature, this creation, this earth of Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala was destroyed. All of that will be put back before the return of the Imam, starting with these rains for 24 days. Never ever has the history of this earth ever seen such severe rains, and all of that, it's to greet and welcome the Imam alayhi salatu wassalam. Just like if you've got an honorable guest and you want to welcome him, you throw away the red carpets for him to walk on. Everything will be nicely made and prepared and cleaned, because it's a special guest. Now this special guest, beloved of Rasulullah, beloved of Amirul Mu'mineen, beloved of Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala, now this Now, this guest of Allah is going to arrive on this planet. So, for that, the entire world has to be prepared. Among the preparations, it's this 24 days of consecutive raining that will take place before the Imam returns. Now, what we have to do is with these du'as, إلهي عظم البلاء وبرح الخفاء وانكشف الغطاء وانقطع الرجاء. That is one of the beautiful du'as that we have. That is, Allahi, all these tests and trials, there are so many, and then everything is hidden. That hope that we have to have, that optimism that we have to have, that is also being lost. ضاقت الأرض, we see that this earth has become so difficult to live in. منعت السماء, the sky is not pouring down all of the blessings that it should be. So when we see so much of mishap, what do? In this dua we are taught that وَأَنْتَ الْمُسْتَعَانِ, you are the one who can help. وَإِلَيْكَ الْمُشْتَكَى, and to you is our complaint. وَعَلَيْكَ الْمُعَوَّلُ فِي الشِّدَّةِ وَالرَّخَاءِ. So in all these difficulties, in all the easy circumstances, in either cases, God, we haven't got any other support or help that can be rendered, but it is from you. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad ulil amr alladhina faradta alayna ta'atahum. And they are the custodians that upon you have made us be obedient to them, and that ta'at and obedience to them you have made it mandatory upon us. And then you've shown us their rank, their status. Who are they? What are they? فَفَرِّجْ عَنَّا بِحَقِّهِمْ. That is, God, by them ease us, relieve us. عَاجِلًا قَرِيبًا كَلَمْحِ الْبَصَرِ أَوْ هُوَ أَقْرَبُ. Quick, fast. That is, as long the amount of time it takes for you to blink an eye, says that fast. Ease from all this distress that we are facing. Ya Muhammad, Ya Ali, Ya Ali, Ya Muhammad. And then you say that Ya Ali is Amirul Mu'mineen, Ya Muhammad it's Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wasallam. And then we ask help from them. Unsurani means help us. Ya Mawla, Ya Sahib al-Zaman, al-Ghaus, 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 until the end of this beautiful dua. Now, in this dua, we sought help from Muhammad and from Ali alayhim as-salam. Hadith says that Ista'inu bis-sabri was-salat, that whenever you need help, you get help from patience, you get help from salat. And when Imam Sadiq alayhi salam was inquired what is meant by patience and what is salat, Imam in reply says, Sabr is fasting, salat is prayers, the prayers that we offer. So Quran teaches us that whenever there is a problem or whenever you want something granted, the option, the doors that are open before you, the outlet that is before you, it's sabri was salat. It is fasting and it is prayers. So you come to Allah with fasts, that is with worship. You come to Allah with prayers. Now, when we see that prayers and fast, Rasulullah in riwayat has been interpreted as fast, as siyam. And fasting, it's easy. So you can observe that fast whether it's hot or cold, and no one needs to find out, and you can really fast for a day, even for a few days with the least of iftar and sahar in this day and age that we are living in. So you seek help from fasting. And then if you want help and if you want things granted to you, then you get to Allah via prayers. So without fasting, without prayers, you cannot get to your destination. So that is a mandatory requirement with worship. It is that you can come to Allah Jalla wa Ala. Without worship, there is no way. Now when we say in this dua, Ya Muhammadu Ya Ali, Ya Muhammad means fasting. Ista'inu bis sabr. Was salat means prayers. So you get help from fast, you get help from prayers. So here says that that prayer and that fast, it is Amirul Mu'mineen and Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wasallam, that you get help from the two of them. Ya Muhammadu ya Ali, yani ista'inu bis sabri was salat. Get help from fasts, get help from prayers, get help from Rasulullah, get help from Ali alayhi salatu wassalam. So how beautiful it is, this whole dua concept, which is again interpreted from the Quran and the ayat of Quran. Now Imam alayhi salam, he is surrounded with all enemies. Now enemies in all forms, enemies in the human form, enemies in the jinn form, enemies from the Iblis's side, enemies surrounded by enemies in a human form, etc. So in all of these difficult situations, we seek him, the Imam, the hope, the helper. And then in this dua, we say that وَالْغَوْسُ وَالرَّحْمَةُ الْوَاسِعَةُ وَعْدًا غَيْرَ مَكْذُوبٍ from Al Yasin. That Imam, he is that Ghaus, that helper. وَالرَّحْمَةُ, the mercy, it is him. Rahmatul Wasi'a, the all-encompassing mercy, it is the Imam alayhi salam. Wa'dan ghayra makzoob. Now this is the promise of Allah, and that promise would never be lied. Whatever he has said is haqq, that is definitely Imam will return, definitely Mu'mineen will be eased, definitely they will be provided. And then whether the circumstances in the place and the city or the country that you are living in is not in your favor, but know that there is an Imam who cares for you, who guides you, and who is there all the time. Now, Imam al-Asr alayhi salatu wasalam and Imamat at large, the qualities that you see in an Imam that we have to know, we have to understand, as this ayah was just recited, La yanfa'u nafsun imanuha. If we do not know that prior to the return of the Imam, that the Iman that we will have, that is without the ma'rifat of the Imam, or the Iman that we will have upon the arrival of the Imam, that is that weak Iman that I will be having, it's not going to be of any benefit and use. So we have to study our Usuluddin better than whatever we have done. We need to know some things, and it is wajib. Among those beautiful things that you need to know regarding the concept of the Imamat is that an Imam, we believe he is ma'soom. An Imam, we believe he is appointed by Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala, and an Imam, Allah Jalla wa Ala, he has given him an ismat, that is, he is infallible. This question is asked quite a lot, that when Allah has given all the miracles to the Imams alayhimus salam, then how come Amirul Mu'mineen Ali alayhi salam was living such a miserable life? Imam Mujtaba, the same. Abu Abdullah al-Hussein, if he was given the miracle, then why on the day of Ashura he did not use those miracles to get rid of those kuffar who were opposing him? That way he would, all this bloodshed would not have had taken place, and this infant Ali Asghar alayhi salam and other members of the caravan of Abu Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam, they would not have had been gone through such a pain. Now, you've seen these policemen, they have a baton with them. At times they have a gun with them, and they've got these handcuffs with them. So these things that are given to the police after they passing a test, and after the police headquarters relying and trusting upon that person, they give him a handcuff, they give him a gun, they give him a baton. And the oath that he has to swear is that I will not misuse these items unless there is a dire need of me serving the community, and for that purpose, based upon the guidelines that have been given to that policeman, he may use that baton, he may use the handcuffs, and he may use the gun. So it isn't as such that now that he has been blessed with that power, he can just come home and start hitting his wife with that baton. Or then when he gets angry with the children, he handcuffs them, he arrests them. He doesn't do that because that is against the training, against the vow that he had with the academy of the police. Imams also are similar. Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala has made them ma'soom. Allah Jalla wa Ala has given them these miracles. Miracles they have. With reference to Imam, he says that all of the miracles that were shown and produced by the prophets, all of them, they are with me. Whichever mu'jiza, whichever miracle you want, that can be presented to you, but I will not do that, Imam says. Imam Hussein alayhi salam, for example, on the day of Ashura, he was suffering so much that he was going through such a tough time. He is Waliullah, he is Ma'soom, his du'as, they are never denied nor reversed. When whatever he wants and he asks is granted to him. Then why did he not use the mu'jiza, the miracles? That way he would have been safe, that way the family also would have been safe. So much of bloodshed and zulm and oppression would not have had come into existence if he had not existed. Now when we see that to the Imams, Allah has given them this ability, these miracles, they cannot use them personally. Amir al-Mu'mineen was having a tough time in Medina. Fizza, in her early days, when she sees that Ali and Fatima, they are struggling and they are suffering from lack of funds, lack of food and drink, etc., she says that why should Ali go through such a tough time? Now I have been a princess in India and I know how to make gold. And she comes and shows that to Amir al-Mu'mineen, says that, Ya Ali, I know how to make gold. I've made this gold and you can go and sell it and then get some grocery so that the children, they could be at ease. Imam says that that is not required. More than what you just can make gold from these ornaments, far way more than that I can do it, I can perform. But we are not meant to do that. Just like that policeman, he is not allowed to hit his wife and children with that gun, with that handcuffs and with that baton. Ma'asumeen alayhim salam also, they are not permitted, they are not allowed to misuse or to use the miracles or the mu'jiza for their personal gains. Not allowed. Imam Jawad alayhi salam, people when they used to come to him to prove his claim of being an Imam, he produces these miracles so that his claim, that doubt that a person has in the Imamat of the Imam, that can be removed. So Imam alayhi salam, the miracles that he has, he is not permitted to use them for his personal life. Or Amir al-Mu'mineen did not do that, Imam Hussein did not do that. All of the other Imams also, they never done, none of them used miracles for their own personal gains. In the ziyarat that we have, one of the ziyarat, it is this ziyarat Jami'at al-Kabira, reported from Imam Hadi alayhi salam. There are these statements that you see in this ziyarat. It is such beautiful that the abilities, the power, the might that Allah has given to the Imams. I'll just recite a few of those sentences so that we get to know who the Imams are, what authority and what power and what rank and what status has been mentioned for them in this ziyarah. Mawdi'ur Risala. He is the center point, the headquarters of Risala. Mukhtalaf al-Malaika. Angels, they frequent with the Imams alayhi salam. Mahbit al-Wahy. That is the descending place, or where the place Jibreel revealed, he used to come there to see the Prophet. Now, one of the other phrases that the Imam alayhi salatu wasalam has used in this ziyarah says, وَيُمْسِكُ السَّمَاءَ أَن تَقَعَ عَلَى الْأَرْضِ. That is, Imam is he who is holding back the sky from falling down. Now when we are tired, we are sleepy, we are sluggish, you see that I cannot hold my eyes. I cannot control myself when I want to sleep. So for this sleep to take place, it's these two, this eyelid that I have, which is such tiny, has such a little weight to it, that just drops down and a person, he is asleep. That is, his person, when he is drowsy and asleep, he can't even control his eyelids. He cannot control them. Then how come Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala has created the Imam alayhi salam, who is the service provider to the creation of Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala? He is holding back such a huge big sky and from thousands of years, and nothing happens to him. That is that might of the Imam alayhi salam that has been mentioned in this beautiful Ziyarat Jami'atil Kabir. Now, Imams, they are the ones who invite people to Haqq. They are the people who people can confide and trust. And when they want care and rahmah and mercy, that can be rendered by the Imam alayhi salatu wassalam. Says, Assalamu ala du'ati ilallah. Salam be upon you all who invite towards Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala. And one of the other names that we have, or the titles that has been mentioned over here in this beautiful ziyarah, says وَبَقِيَّةِ wa وَخِيَرَتِهِ. That is, Baqiyatullah, the remnant of Allah and the best of His servants. Baqiyatullah. And then that is one of the other titles that we have, Baqiyatullah wa khiyaratihi, and the best of His creation. Wa hizbihi wa aibati ilmih. Wa party of Allah, it is the Imam. The source of all knowledges and sciences, that is the Imam. Hujjatihi wa siratihi wa nurihi wa burhanih. The argument of Allah is the Imam. The path of Allah is the Imam. The light of Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala is the Imam. Wa burhanih. Wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. It's a beautiful ziyarat. If you get time, recite it, and especially in this day and age that we are living in, where we have to have a stronger connection with the Imam alayhi salatu wassalam, we have to work on it. Now, one of the other ways that we can be in the service of the Imam is by Dua al-Ahd, Ziyarat al-Ahd. Recite that every day, every morning. And Dua Faraj is another dua that we have. And the prayer, the salat that we have for Namaz Imam al-Zaman, that also on and off recited. Offer those prayers, they are useful. And what we do over here is that we get connected to the Imam alayhi salam with these salats, with that dua, with these ziyarat and prayers. The return of the Imam is definite, hatmi, and it will certainly take place. It is the promise of Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala, where He says that it has been written, means that it has been confirmed. What is confirmed? Kataballah la'aghlibanna ana wa rusuli. That is, it has been written, it is ordained that I shall surely prevail, and I and my apostles. Indeed, Allah is all strong and almighty. So, ana wa rusuli, kataballah, that I have written, la'aghlibanna, I will surely prevail. Myself, ana wa rusuli, and I and my envoys, my prophets, that is, they will definitely prevail. So return of the Imam alayhi salam is definite. His being successful and his being winning the situation in this world that mu'mineen, they are going through this tough time, all of that is definite, and it will definitely take place, and that is in the era of the Imam alayhi salatu wassalam. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم اللهم اغفر لنا ولوالدينا ولمن وجب له حق علينا ولمن وصانا بالدعاء ولجميع أمة محمد وآل محمد. This Ziyarat al-Ahd that was mentioned, recite it every day after your Fajr prayers. And Imam al-Sadiq alayhi salam, he says that someone who recites this Ziyarat or dua al-ahd for 40 days, and if he dies before the return of the Imam alayhi salam, he will be brought back to life to serve the Imam alayhi salam. So serving the Imam, it's the desire of the Imam that we also have that desire. Amirul Mu'mineen had that desire, Rasulullah had that, Imam Sajjad had that, all of the Imams, they had that wish, that desire to serve the Imam alayhi salatu wassalam. Now one of the titles that we have for the Imam, it's Baqiyatullah. Baqiyatullah means the remnant of Allah, that what has remained. So if you have this creation, and if you were to squeeze this creation and then bring forth the most perfect or the best of Allah's creation, that is the Imam alayhi salatu wassalam. The best of the creations of Allah Jalla wa Ala is the Imam. Ya Allah, hasten in his return, count us all among the best of his servants and those who seek shahadat in his service. Allahumma arin at-talat al-rashida والغرة الحميدة واكحل ناظري بالنظرة مني إليه وعجل فرجه وسهل مخرجه. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعجل فرجهم.